To hold the first set of elections in India in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, particularly the Bihar Assembly polls, the Election Commission of India is finalising guidelines with restrictions on public presence at campaign rallies, in door-to-door political outreach, in polling booths and inside the counting halls to ensure strict social distancing. The contours of the Election Commission's new plan for election in the new normal are being adopted even as political parties have offered varied suggestions to the constitutional body, from deferring polls altogether to holding them in one phase, from reverting to ballot papers to allowing physical and not just virtual rallies, and from increasing the limits on poll expenditure by candidate to exempting those expenses incurred while enhancing the COVID-19 precautions. While elections have taken place in other countries since the pandemic in Sri Lanka recently, elections in India have been confined to polls to Rajya Sabha and Legislative Council seats, which involve a limited set of voters. Experts believe that the election paradigm adopted for Bihar will have significant implications for political contest and have a medium-term impact since other states' elections are due in the middle of 2021. Election Commission, which reviewed suggestions received from the political parties for conducting elections to the 243 members Bihar Assembly, is likely to issue the guidelines over the next 3 days. The guidelines will broadly center around 3 primary subjects: polling stations, counting halls, and public meetings. A key area of concern for political parties is rallies, which have traditionally served as a key political tool for mobilizing voters and communicating messages by leaders. With the pandemic and the push towards the digital campaigning, parties have expressed concern that the direct interface with voters, especially those who lack a digital access, will get affected if physical rallies are not allowed. The BJP, which is a part of the ruling dispensation in Bihar, has asked the poll panel to allow physical meetings and rallies in rural and semi-urban areas, since voters may not have access to mobile devices and the internet. In its submission to EC, the party had said that all party workers, campaigners and leaders must have the Arogya Setu app downloaded on their phones at all times, and adequate social distancing have to be maintained during the road shows and processions. Other parties such as RJD and the BJP ally, the LJP, have said that till physical rallies are not allowed, the election must not take place, arguing that digital campaigning, the virtual rallies, allows the party an upper hand because this costs more money. The CPI and the CPIM have also demanded public meetings. The Congress has sought permission for house-to-house campaigns. In its submissions to EC, the party said, "We are in favor of an election based on face-to-face campaign where the candidates and party workers can meet the voters." Bureau Report.